kau ada kena ke apa?
for joining. And
Oh,
thanks, and
sekarang eh?
thanks. Uh,
Uh,
oh, I see. I'm not a
tak,
host.
sebab aku tengah meeting
You
dengan
can
Bomba
mute.
tu. Bising ke?
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and thanks, Ram, for putting this session together. I think it's been a really nice opportunity that we do every year now to have all the projects meet each other. My job here is just to give you an overview of who the OED is. I'll keep it to under 5 minutes. 4 minutes now. Let me just share my screen quickly. So with with the OED, I like to sort of just just start with the big picture of what we're trying to do here. The OED is it's part of a bigger organization. It's part of the International Astronomical Union. There's a lot of structures, but essentially what we are about is really taking the connection to the sky, the field of astronomy, and it's a field that's part of so many of our cultures, all throughout the world and throughout time as well, where people have looked up at the sky and wondered about these things. And that curiosity has driven us to build telescopes, to have all these things within the field of astronomy. And our job at the OED is to take any aspect of astronomy and see how it can help to make the world a better place. Because at the end of the day, it's about trying to trying to try to connect with the challenges that we have on this planet. The International Astronomical Union as a whole, this is a global body of professional astronomers. There's around 12 to 13,000 astronomers that are members, and its goal is to promote and safeguard the science of astronomy in all its aspects. Now, in the new IAU strategic plan, there was a specific mention that those aspects include research, communication, education, and development. And this is now where the different offices fit in. The goals of the IAU are shaped according, with regard to these offices. So today you'll hear from our different offices. There's an Office of Astronomy for Education based in Germany. There's the Office for Young Astronomers, that's a virtual office. The Office for Astronomy Outreach in Japan. The Center for the Protection of Dark Skies, which is distributed between the US and the UK. But our office is focusing on development, and that's to see how we can make as big an impact as possible on development. Now, all these offices respond to the goals of the IAU. The first goal is about coordinating astronomy. The second goal is about advancing astronomy in each country, things that the OYA is involved in. The third goal is about using astronomy for development, the OAD. The fourth goal about communication, the OAO, and the fifth goal about education, OAE. So the OED is hosted in South Africa by the National Research Foundation in partnership with the IAU, and we try to use all the aspects of astronomy to impact on sustainable development goals. And this is essentially what our what we use as the closest definition that we have to development. So we have regional offices around the world. There are 11 regional offices. There's no way one single office knows what the situation is and how astronomy can impact different regions. So we set up regional offices. We have a huge number of partnerships across different fields and projects. This is the annual call. This is where you are here. We try to support as many projects as possible around the world. And we specifically say this is open to anyone, anywhere in the world. Figure out a way to use astronomy to impact your communities. So there's project resources that Ram will talk about. There's online training. We have the impact cycle. But the main thing is the flagship projects. Tomorrow you hear about it. Projects that we sort of find ways in which astronomy impacts the different SDGs. The first on economic development through astronomy tourism. The second one on mental health. The third one on data skills. And throughout this onboarding, you'll hear about these. And I think I'm going to stop there and hand it back to Ram. But just to say that we really, really appreciate like all the effort that the projects put in towards this. We know that many of you are just volunteers and passionate about using astronomy to help your communities. And really the ideas that you have, the projects that you have, these are what drives us and informs us so that we can take your ideas for your communities and help spread it to other communities in other parts of the world. So you are helping us a lot to try and realize the bigger vision of using astronomy for a better world. So thank you very much, and thanks, Ram, for coordinating all this.
Thanks, Kevin. Does anyone have any questions so far about what Kevin said? Okay, so like Kevin said, we really are grateful to you as projects because our grants are quite small, to be honest, and uh, the fact that most of you are doing this for free essentially is incredible to me. Like there are so many people all around the world who are willing to devote their time and resources to create positive change. Um, Even though grants are small, I would say that our network is actually quite big. So the IAU, the OED has a huge network. Astronomy, as you know, there are several thousand astronomers around the world, professional astronomers, and probably more amateur astronomers and outreach professionals and education professionals. So astronomy is quite big globally, and I would say during your project year this year at the OED, please do reach out to us in case you need any networks and connections because we'll more likely than not be able to help you out there. So talking about networks, I will ask now the team to first introduce themselves. So all of you know me. So I'm Ram. I run projects and operations at the OED. And you've met Kevin, who's the director. So let me see who else is here. Joy and Charles, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Okay. Right. Hi, everyone. I'm Charles Takalana. So I am the Deputy Director at the OED and very happy to meet all of you and hear about your project.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joyful Njuli. I am the Flagship Project Coordinator. You will hear more about them tomorrow.
I think I saw Dom and Sam earlier. Dom?
Yeah, let me see if I can get the video going. Okay, video's not going. Hi, everyone. I'm Dominic. So I'm with the OAD, and I have the role of being the lead for the astronomy for mental health. So you'll hear from me as well tomorrow.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam Samyukta. I'm working with the OED with the Astrotourism flagship, so we'll also be talking a bit more tomorrow.
Okay, that's the OED team. And let me see. Is there anyone here from the OED regional offices? Oh, yeah. Sorry, there's one more person now joining from the OED team. Anyone from the regional offices?
I'm here, but I think that there were no projects in our region, if I remember correctly. But yeah, hi everyone. My name is Katja Franzova. I'm a coordinator of the European Regional Office of Astronomy for Development.
Thanks, Katya. Nuha, I know you just joined in, but we are doing introductions. It's your turn. Is she? Yeah. Okay. We can't hear you, Noah, if you're trying to speak. If there's no one from the regional offices, then we can move ahead. So we'd like to hear from you as a project. So please introduce yourself as well as give us a very brief summary of your project. If there are other team members joining us here, please introduce them as well, or let them introduce themselves. So let me begin with, let's see. Who's first on this list is Astro STEM Workshop in Kenya. Who do we have? Olivia or anyone from Leo Sky? Okay. Next one is Closer to the Sky, Ariana or Claudia.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear us? So I am Ariana Cortesi,
Claudio Barbosa.
and we are both part of the project Closer to the Sky, which has also another project manager, let's say, that Claudia Mignone, who could not join today. And then our group also has several people working with us both in Brazil. Our project is based in Rio de Janeiro, in a favela, the favela Cantagallo Pavão Pavãozinho, where we do classes of astronomy for children and teenagers and also young adults. And we work in close collaboration with artists and educators of the favela. Thank you. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you both. So the next one I have is Astronomy for Resilience and Nelly Pacheco Blanco from Mexico.
Yes, hi. Do you hear me well?
Yeah.
Hi. So I am Anaeli. I am living in Mexico, and my project is called the Universe for You Astronomy for Resilience. And we are aiming our project for children and youth living in social care institutions in my city called Puebla. And we aim with astronomy activities to provide not only STEM skill-related skills and soft skills, but also see how these astronomy activities can help in the status of the mental health of these children and youth living in these institutions. I'm very excited to meet you all, and I hope that we can reach our objective. So nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Next, I would like to call Tabitha from the Imagia project. Tabitha, are you here? Is she here? Oh, you're still muted. Okay. We can come back to her. The next person is Eleni and team from the radio project.
Hello, very nice to meet all of you. My name is Eleni Vardoulaki. I'm an astrophysicist at the National Observatory of Athens. There are two more team members, as I saw, Hongming Tang and Hira Fatima here. I'll say a few things about radio, and maybe they can also introduce themselves. So our project is a modern Silk Road to connect China, Pakistan, and Greece via an educational program targeted for students in school from 12 to 17, 18 years old. So we want to bring radio astronomy to schools as a tool to connect our cultures and open the minds of the students and the teachers. And I also would like to say that I'm a member of the National Coordinators for Education for Greece. Thank you. Maybe Hongming can say? Or maybe Hira. can say a few things more about. Okay, Hira cannot speak. She's also a member of the radio. Hira is responsible for the Pakistani team because we have local teams that are running the project locally, but we are coordinating, and it's a common educational project. And at the end, we're going to do, how do you say? A workshop, international workshop, where all the students could take part and present their projects from all the countries. Hongming,
Thank you, all three of you. Yeah, is
Hongming,
Hongming?
he's here, but I don't know if he can speak. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much.
Hongming, do you want to say something? Okay, thank you to all three of
Hey, Ram, you muted yourself.
Sorry, the next one is most me. I would like to invite Mohammed Hanafi bin Azami.
Hello, hi everyone. So I'm Dr. Hanafi from Malaysia. Currently, I am the associate professor in the Department of Aerospace Engineering. Together with me, we have Dr. Azli, we have Zahid, and then we have Madam Halina and our IUM Astronomy Club. So for your information, first of all, thank you OAD and IAU for selecting our project for this sparking STEM through mobile observatory in Malaysia. So yeah, I think this is the whole problem, everybody's problem, where the STEM interest started to reduce. So we planned, this is a 5 years ago of a proposal to have an mobile observatory so that we can put this observatory in few places. So our targeted audience will be from underprivileged people, community in a very rural area in Gombak, and then to high school, primary school, and then to the high school. So our project is intend to build our own mobile observatory so that we can move to one place to the other places. So there are 3 locations, and this project runs across 3 campuses in our university. So IUM, we have 3 big campuses, one in Gombak, and then Kuantan, and then the foundation studies in Pahang. So all those campuses have their own IUM Astronomy Club, and we come together and write a proposal to get fund to execute this project and to enhance the STEM literacy among school children. Okay, thank you so much, OAD, and nice to know all of you.
Thank you. Good to meet you as well. Next person I have is Tejpreet Kaur from the Khagolwani project.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, thanks. I'm Tejpreet. I'm from IIT Kanpur, which is Indian Institute of Technology in India. It is situated in Uttar Pradesh state in the northern side of India. And our project, its name is Khagolwani, which in Hindi it means voice of cosmos. And in this project, we want to introduce astronomy education to the kids coming from underprivileged backgrounds. Basically, the city of Kanpur, where this institute is situated, it's a kind of hub it's a kind of industrial area, and lots of people from neighboring states and neighboring cities, they come for like seasonal migration and labor work. And the kids, they do not get the chance to have the formal education. So there are many organizations which are helping them with getting some informal education, and we want to introduce the space and astronomy education to these kids in collaboration with the different organizations which are working here. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Next is ROP, Rites of Passage, Wilma or Arnold.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wilma D'Souza. and I am the fundraiser at Uziko, which is based in Stellenbosch, the Wineland regions of the Western Cape in South Africa. I'm here with my executive director, Arnold Ockers, and Darius Sylvester, who is the project manager. So we've been running a project called Rites of Passage for the last almost 25 years in our communities, which is basically guiding the youth. It's elder guidance for the youth. South Africa has a horrendous school dropout rate, especially in the communities that we work in. Around about half of the children who are starting school at 5, 6 years old don't even make it to matric at 18 years old. The majority are dropping out before then. And so we work in collaborations with primary schools and high schools, doing after school kind of life skills and educational sessions, and wilderness therapy, which is our main methodology, taking the kids out on camps and hikes, and introducing them to nature, and then mentoring as well as the elder guidance. So we haven't got astronomy as part of this program at the moment, but we really felt that it's a perfect alignment as with the focus on nature. Arnold and I also have an amateur interest in astronomy as well, so we were really excited about this project. So what we are doing is starting up some astronomy clubs in our schools and communities to introduce the children to the wonder of the skies. We'll get them to do some projects, some arts, drawings, and just really make sure that they're getting a kind of a solid scientific background, but also bringing in the myths and the legends. Part of what we wish to do is to collaborate with the First Nations people of South Africa, the Khoisan, to talk about their understandings of our place in the universe. So we're going to have kind of fireside storytellings, not only with the children, but we're planning to have a community event with the wider community as well. Arnold, Darius, would you like to say anything more?
Good day, everyone. My name is Arnold, and I'm the executive director. I think, Wilma, you covered everything. Yeah, we're just very excited to start this project, and nice to meet everyone. Darius?
Yeah, my name is Darius, and I'm also very excited about this new venture.
Yeah, nice to have you all. Thank you. The next one is Ballard, Western Australia. I think I saw Grace and John. Sorry, you mute.
Hello, Grace, you're on mute at the moment.
I think I've just come off, John. Okay.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah.
So good evening from Western Australia. We're from Koya Aboriginal Corporation, based in the west of Australia. We're an Aboriginal community-controlled organisation who have been operating in our area of Perth for this is our 21st year. We have a project, I think, that resonates very closely with the project that we've just been listening to. And I know we're going to be meeting with you guys sometime next week online. We look forward to that. Online, we've got Dr. John Goldsmith, and I'm not sure if we've got Quinton Tucker online, who's the one of the directors of Koya Aboriginal Corporation. And I'm going to hand you to you, John, to outline what the project is.
Well, thank you very much, Grace. Can everyone hear me? Great. Okay. This is a tremendous privilege, and we appreciate this opportunity greatly. I'm speaking from Perth, the capital city of Western Australia, and this project is about Indigenous Aboriginal children and learning about astronomy and the cultural aspects of astronomy. here in Western Australia, we have access to some extraordinarily dark, high-quality night skies. The challenge that we have is in the middle of Perth, of course, we have light pollution. And so as astrophotographers, my particular background is in astrophotography. We travel large distances to get to dark sky environments. This subject is something that I have been involved in for many years now, and I'd just like to very briefly share with you. I'll just hold up this document here. This is the PhD thesis, Cosmos, Culture and Landscape. So this is my research project, which I completed in 2014. And this is specifically about Indigenous astronomical knowledge, the learning, sharing and communication of Indigenous contemporary astronomical knowledge. And this was an extraordinary opportunity to learn about this subject here in Western Australia. This subject is actually not well understood. And so this research was a prime opportunity to inquire into this area and to learn wonderful things. The location, one of the locations that we're going to is, I'll just show you this cover of this book here, is Lake Ballard in Western Australia. So this is approximately 800 kilometres northeast of Perth, the capital city. It is heading into the interior of Western Australia, very, very dark skies. It is one of the most important astrophotography locations in Australia. And you will also notice just behind me, the painting, the Aboriginal painting that is behind me. This is Australian cultural knowledge of the night sky. The emu, the large flightless bird, the emu in the night sky, in the Milky Way. And you can see formed of the dark areas in the Milky Way. So this is a prime opportunity to share and learn together cultural knowledge of the night sky and wilderness landscape environments with children, with elders, with adults, mentoring. And as Grace mentioned, we are absolutely fascinated to learn of the South African similar project. We are very excited to engage and learn together and to share the knowledge that we gain. We're very, very pleased about that. Yeah. This particular book is this is my third astrophotography book that I have now produced, Visions of the Cosmos, Landscape Astrophotography from Western Australia, and it is a collaboration. So much of our work is based on collaboration in this field. And so together with Koya Aboriginal Corporation, with Grace, with Quinton Tucker, the director, one of the directors of Koya, we are absolutely delighted to be able to have this opportunity. Just to acknowledge in terms of Astro for Development, you've been operating now for 12 years, approximately 12 years, I believe, 260 projects funded around the world. That is a magnificent achievement. And this particular project here in Western Australia is the first project to be funded by Astro for Development in 12 years. This is the first Australian project, and we are absolutely delighted that that is the case. And so we are very enthusiastic to share our learnings and our experience through this project. So thank you for your time. My name is Dr. John Goldsmith. My business is celestialvisions.com.au. I am a member of The World at Night. Many of you will know TWAN, The World at Night, Global Astrophotography. And also congratulations to everyone who has succeeded in the current year of funding. We are delighted to be working with you and to share our knowledge through the coming year. Thank you very much. And I really look forward to our activities together this year. Thank you.
Thank you both. As he said, they hopefully going to work with the project in South Africa. And I was telling them that we encourage projects to try and collaborate with each other. So I know you're working in different parts of the world, but there's always, I think, scope for collaboration. I know, for example, we have a few astrotourism projects, and I will connect you with each other over email, but also feel free to connect with each other here. And I hope that you take advantage of each other's expertise and strengths. So the next project that I want to call upon is, I have the abbreviation here. It's the CSTERC Women Entrepreneurs Collective from India. Anupama, are you here?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Anupama from India. I hope I'm audible. Yes. Yes. So I'm leading the project, Sister Women Entrepreneurs Collective, and I am currently working as a project manager also, and also as a member of UNESCO SDG4 Student and Youth Network, focusing on the skill development aspects of youngsters. And we have an organization called as Open Space Foundation and Sister, where we have been actively engaging in astronomy education and outreach for more than a decade now. It started when we were very young, and it's been more than 11 years. And my team member, Surinder, he's an astronomer, and Bharat, who is the project coordinator of the about the collective, both are present here. Yes, so as I have been told, since we have been part of the astronomy outreach programs for more than a decade, this particular project, the CWSPC, the Astropreneurs Collective, is something very close to my heart, as I have been seeing women like me perceive astronomy or STEM education or any STEM field in general as something not attainable, something not achievable. So in Indian context, despite the increase in female enrollment in the higher education space, it is not transferred or transformed into the workspace. So to put that in number, less than 35% of our women are in the current workforce, and which is a very less number. And when it comes to manufacturing and technical field, it is even less. So these numbers not just reflect the missed economic opportunities, but it also showcase the deep-rooted gender barriers that women face in working in the STEM field. So the collective is a humble approach from us to trying to rewrite that narrative. And in the collective, we have worked with it's a city in Tamil Nadu, a South Indian state, and we try to equip them with the skills, technical skills to manufacture astronomy and allied products, including telescopes, solar filters, and all. And the program combines technical training, teaching them how to design and assemble telescope and other products, embedded with leadership and entrepreneurial sessions. And we're also trying to build a market for the products, targeting schools, science centers, and tourist spots. And we want to develop the collective as a replicable model to prove that when given opportunities to women, they can create their own path and uplift the whole community. And we hope every telescope that they make through this project is as a
Anupama, we can't. Bharat or anyone else from the team?
And why first generation? All of our team members, more than 90% of the team members are from first generation, are first generation graduates. We are also coming from rural remote locations who fell in love with astronomy and science.
Hey Ram, can you hear me? Surinder here.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, Anupama, you got cut off in the middle, but yeah,
Oh,
I think we
okay.
got
Sorry.
we got the gist of it.
Anup, maybe
Surin,
you can close your video and talk because your internet is weak, I guess. It will be better.
okay.
You can close your video.
Okay. I don't know where I got cut down. I mean, cut off. Uh, do you want
You
me
were
to
introducing
restart?
our participants. So the girls, the first
Okay,
generation
cool,
team.
cool.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
introduce.
cool. Okay, sorry. Actually, we are in a remote area. We were doing an astronomy outreach session. So sorry for that. Okay. Yes. So in the collective, we work with 21st generation female graduates from Coimbatore. It's a city in Tamil Nadu, a South Indian state, and we try to equip them with skills to manufacture telescope and allied astronomy products such as telescope, solar filters, etc. And this is embedded with the training is embedded with leadership and entrepreneurial sessions also. And we are also trying to build a market for the products, targeting schools, science centers, and tourist spots and all. And we want to develop the collective as a replicable model. So to prove that when given opportunities and skills, women can create their own path, uplift the communities along the way. And we hope that the telescopes that we create as a symbol of empowerment and financial independence. And that's what we are hoping through the project. And yes, so that's about the project. We extend our heartfelt request to all of you to be part of our journey. And congratulations, everyone, for securing the funding. And thank you, IAD, for the opportunity. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Glad to have you all here. So the next one is Zagros Rise, reviving and integrating solar energy in Zagros in Iran. So this is our first project in Iran. I don't know if Sajjad is here.
Yes, do you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, hi.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm very pleased to be here. I'm Sajjad Mahdizadeh. I'm originally from Iran. I'm a postdoctoral researcher of astronomical instrumentation in Durham University in England in the UK. Our project, as Ram just introduced, is for the Zagros region. Actually, it's a relatively remote and rural region in Zagros in south of Iran. And what we want to do is to integrate and educate about solar energy and about the sun itself, mostly to the young people there. So we are a team of facilitators and volunteer people doing these activities, and we would like to do two types of activities there. One of them is to provide infrastructure actually for the local community as examples of what can be done in regards of solar energy and of solar energy, particularly solar panels, solar electricity, and also solar heating, solar water heating plants. The other part of our activities is actually about education. For that, we have facilitators in our team, and in addition to that, we are actually we are educating facilitators, local facilitators there as well. We will be doing activities by providing kits to pupils and students. By like playing theaters, for example, about astronomy or about solar energy. We will be distributing books to pupils and orient some activities around books. What else can I count? We will be doing experiments as well, so like scientific experiments about the solar energy and about the sun. And we will also have observing sessions for the pupils, which they are very much passionate about and they like them very much. Yeah, so our project basically stands on the two pillars of the education and also clean energy. So yes, I think this is all from my side, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. I'd like to call Cheyenne from the Luna Stargazing training program.
Yes, hello. If I disappear, my Wi-Fi has been in and out for today, but hopefully it lasts for the next couple of minutes. Hi everyone, I'm Shan Polius. I am the founder of Luna Journeys. I'm from a very lovely tiny island in the Caribbean called St. Lucia, and Luna started as an opportunity for all astronomy enthusiasts to just connect and come together because that didn't exist before. And through that kind of connection and having events, we realized that there was also an opportunity to develop like astrotourism activities as well. So we've worked with hotels for stargazing, and there's currently a gap in that market. So as a way to kind of kill two birds with one stone, we get an opportunity to host stargazing sessions, but also generate revenue so we can be a sustainable business for ourselves and also be able to have these kind of events for St. Lucians as well. So this project now with the OAD is to have a formal official training program to train as many people as possible. Well, to train 15 people, but to start off as astronomy tour guides. So right now we have two really great amateur astronomers in St. Lucia, but that's not enough to kind of keep things going long term. So we definitely want to take their years of knowledge and be able to give that on to other people as well. So that training program will equip those people to become tour guides. And then it's our target is unemployed young people in St. Lucia. So also going into that developmental problem of being a developing country and wanting to help young people who are unemployed. Our training program is specifically targeting those people. So at the end of it, they get an opportunity to work as tour guides and generate money, like income for themselves. So yeah, this project now we hope is the beginning of kind of long-term astrotourism in St. Lucia because right now nothing's really going on. But after we get people trained up and Luna Journeys as a business is operating, we hope that it will just continue that way and we can continue to train more and more people and keep passing down that knowledge. So this is really kind of the beginning of something very exciting. So very excited and very grateful to the OAD for supporting our project. And yeah, looking forward to working with all of you as well.
Thank you, Cheyenne. The next project is Lunar MX. Look up now and reconnect from Mexico. Arturo Gonzalez.
Yeah, well, I'm not Arturo. I'm Gonzalo. I'm Gonzo, part of the team with the Museum of the Desert in Coahuila, in the north of Mexico, and the Secretary of Tourism in Campeche, in the south of Mexico. And yeah, we are looking forward to start the projects with you. And well, we are basically dealing with the problem of rural communities' income, and to develop astrotourism is a good opportunity to preserve natural heritage and also cultural heritage, as you all or some of you are working as too in this. And yeah, we are going to do three kind of things. First of all, we are going to do like a roadmap for astrotourism development in Coahuila and Campeche, trying to keep together public and private institutions. And then we are going to do trainings for astro guides and develop experiences of astrotourism linked with cultural heritage. And finally, we are going to organize some exhibitions of landscape of astrophotography exhibitions dealing with environmental and cultural issues. So yeah, that will be the whole project that we've got ahead. Very, very happy to be here with you to share with these kind of colleagues that I think we are all around the world, and very happy to feel company with you. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you very much. So we actually have two more projects in astrotourism. So these were kindly funded by the DARA project, which is one of the partners of the OAD. So I'd like to first call Gabriel Paul to talk about his project AED Anga Explorers for Development in Kenya. You're still muted, Gabriel.
So my name is Gabriel Paul from Kenya. I'm the project lead for Anchor Explorers for Development. Our project is, or rather, our project is aiming to, economically empower local communities and hotel staff in the Amboseli National Park and the surrounding, that is based in the southwestern part of Kenya. So take this opportunity to thank the IAU OAD in collaboration with the DARA for accepting to fund our project and to economically empower these communities in Kenya. So our main, we expect to deliver our project based on some, or rather few rather based on some specific objectives, one of them being job creation, that we expect to increase revenue and income for the locals. And then we also aim to, create awareness in dark sky and in dark sky preservation to enhance astrotourism in Kenya. And we also aim to create awareness in astronomy through this particular project. And so we are, we are saying a big thank you to IAU, OAD, and DARA for accepting to fund our project. We are looking forward to collaborate with similar projects. We are currently in touch with, looking to get in touch with other colleagues that are currently online in this meeting to co-develop the project further in readiness for implementation. Thank you very much, and thanks for the opportunity to connecting to this community. Yeah.
Thank you so much. The next astrotourism project in Botswana is being led by Onka Betse. Hi.
Okay, thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Onkabetse Sengate. You can call me Onks. I'm from BUS University in Botswana. Our proposed project is named Astro Guides. So we aim to integrate astronomy into safari tourism. For those of you who don't know a lot about Botswana, so Botswana is known for its world-class safari tourism, and a significant portion of our country is covered by the game reserves. Maybe about more than 50% of our land is covered by safari game reserves. And these areas, if you go there, you'll find out that they have like the best skies, and this provides an excellent setting for astrotourism. So, despite this, our astrotourism remains undeveloped in Botswana because, especially in our university, we just started astronomy studies. So we are proposing this project where we want to go out there and train safari guide training guides. So if we look at the programs that are provided by the safari guide training programs in Botswana, we only found out that only one school is providing it has one module of astronomy, in their curriculum. So what we are proposing now is to partner with one of the training schools. We train the trainers there. Then we get at least maybe one cohort. Then we introduce this astrotourism course to the module, to the course. So we aim at developing a very comprehensive night sky short course with a certificate at the end, covering stargazing, astronomical myths, cultural stories, and most importantly, astrophotography. Yeah. So in the call here, I think there's Fami, who's one of my colleagues here. Maybe he can add or introduce himself. Fami.
Thank you very much, Onks, and hello, everybody. I think you've described the project quite well, so I won't add anything, but just to say hello and just thank OAD, IAU, and DARA for supporting the project.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Fami.
Yeah, thank you both. So there's another project in Ethiopia, the Thai Girls Project, empowering girls and female teachers through astronomy in rural areas affected by conflict, but I don't believe anyone from the team was able to make it. Is anyone here from the Thai Girls Project? Okay. That's all the projects. We actually have one more project from last year in Palestine that was funded in 2024, but they could not run the project because of what was happening. So they will actually be running the project this year, and I don't think anyone from that team is here either. So that's a teacher training program in Palestine. Did I miss any of the projects? Please let me know. Or if you have not had a chance to introduce yourself, please do so before we move on to the presentations. Oh, Vinicius. Vinicius, can you introduce yourself, please?
Oh, yes. Thank you. First of all, I'm sorry I'm late because I had a medical appointment. You can see here, no big deal. But I'm Vinicius I'm representative of PLOAD, the Portuguese language region. I speak from Brazil, but the PLOAD is all the countries where the Portuguese is the official language. And I think it's only this. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, any questions so far? Anyone else wants to introduce themselves? I see some of our colleagues from the other offices are here, so please introduce yourself just before you present or during your presentation. I see Narusha here from one of our partners. Do you want to introduce yourself, Narusha?
Hi, I am Narusha. I'm a data analyst at, joined with IDEA and BRICS. I just recently joined the team.
Okay, if there's no one else who wants to introduce themselves, except for the offices, then let's move ahead to the presentation. So the first presentation is from the IAU Office for Astronomy Outreach. Unfortunately, Kelly, who's the director, could not be here, so she just sent me a recorded message. But I saw that Cynthia is here. Cynthia, do you want to say hello and introduce yourself before I play Kelly's video?
Hello. Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Good night, good morning, or good evening. I don't know. My name is Cynthia Duran. I am the International Outreach Officer for the Office for Astronomy Outreach. And you will see in the video, you will meet Kelly. She is our director, and she will be telling you a little bit of the different projects that we do. And of course, we wanted to let you know that if there's anything that we can help you with your projects, or if you need any kind of resource, to keep in touch with your audiences, with your public. We're here, and you can ask for anything that we can definitely help you with. So thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly Blumenthal. I'm the director of the Office for Astronomy Outreach at the IAU. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about all of the things that we do. But first, I have a question for you. And if this will advance. Yes, there we go. Why does astronomy inspire us? I think we're all here because we love astronomy and we're inspired by it, but we ever stop and think about why? And I think, from my perspective anyway, part of this is that astronomy is intangible. It speaks to the humanity within us all, and it speaks to something that we can't quite get our hands around. You know, the other sciences, they're much more physical, you know, physics and chemistry, even biology, there's something that you can hold on to physically, but oftentimes that means that they are inaccessible in a way because they require a certain amount of resources and maybe understanding or knowledge that is not readily available to you. But looking up at the night sky and being just utterly inspired by what you see is something that everybody on the planet can do. And so it's through the humanities, the arts, music, literature, communication, that we can really bring people into the world of science through astronomy by engaging people in different ways, different modalities of doing science engagement work. And this builds up wonder and awe in people. So when people look up to the night sky, they are in awe of what they're seeing. And what awe does to your brain is it starts to reconstruct the way that you actually understand and perceive the world around you. And that leads you to be more curious about the world around you, more curious about the things that you're learning. And that snowballs into getting people really engaged with science, get engaged with astronomy, which is really what the OAO is all about. And so us at the OAO, we are a team of 3. It's me, the director, as I mentioned before, Cynthia Duran, who is from Mexico. She is our international outreach officer, and Naomi Asabri Frimpong, who's from Ghana, as our deputy director. We are based here in Tokyo, which is where I'm calling you from right now, at the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan. And so when we talk about the OAO, we talk about 2 branches of activities that we really do. We have our public engagement work, and then we also have our professionalization of astronomy communication work. And I'll talk about each one of those in kind. There are many different ways that we engage the public with astronomy. One part of this is through our public communications work. So this includes responding to public inquiries and frequently asked questions, all the translations that we do and provide, online resources, materials, our newsletter, and all of our social media. These are ways that we can directly interact with the public. And then, of course, we have our projects, our themes that occur throughout the year, that are ways that we can encourage people to engage their own communities and spread out the knowledge and awe and inspiring curiosity of astronomy. And so these global themes are really, they're like fundamental pillars of what we really hold dear at the OAO. And they are women and girls in astronomy, celebrating the contributions of women and girls to the science of astronomy. Inclusive astronomy communication, really trying to empower people to make astronomy as inclusive as possible, as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. And then Dark and Quiet Skies, which is all about trying to make the night sky, protect the night sky, as it is a precious resource that we really do need to protect. We do have a global project that happens once throughout the year. So that happens in October each year. And this, in 2025, is the last year that the International Planetarium Society is celebrating the 100th anniversary of the planetarium. So I know that this date here says 2 to 5 October 2024. Those are actually the same dates in 2025 as when we're going to be celebrating 100 hours of astronomy, a 100-hour marathon of astronomy events happening worldwide. The partnership that we have with the International Planetarium Society will be mainly focused on trying to get people into planetariums and engaging planetariums in as many ways as possible with the communities that they serve, whether they be stationary planetariums or mobile planetariums. We also do have some special projects that happen occasionally. When partners come to us with ideas of projects that they want to do, or just a notion that they want to do a project with us, we try to figure out ways that we can do that. So this past year, Radiolab, which is a US-based science podcast, got in touch with the IAU and wanted to do a naming campaign for a quasimoon. And now, if you don't know, a quasimoon is an near-Earth asteroid that is orbiting the sun, but from our position on Earth, looks as though it's orbiting the Earth. So it is called a quasimoon. Not quite a moon, but also not a moon. So this naming contest was distributed worldwide, and we actually just released the final name for this quasimoon, which was Cardera, who is the Roman goddess of thresholds, doorways and thresholds, which is very interesting. And actually, I have something in a document for you all so that you can read the press release that came out as a result of this project. So all of the work that we do, everything that we do with public engagement work, we're directly interacting with the public. We're doing all of these amazing projects with our global themes. All of this is made possible through our National Outreach Coordinator Network. And I say on here that this is a global network with local reach, because that really truly is. We have more than 120 nations that are involved in this network, over 300 people who are members of the network itself, including all the NOx teams and committees. They take the work that we do at the OAO and they bring it into their communities, and they really let it propagate outward and amplify the work that they're doing and coordinate similar work that happens within their country and territory and nation. So without them, we really couldn't be as successful as an office as we are. And this is just, a broad example of the various different things that the NOCs in our network do. You can see there's really an enormous amount of diversity in the way that they communicate outreach, and that speaks a lot to what we think is really important. It's called localization, making sure that the projects and the programs and the activities that people do and that we produce are flexible enough that they can be localized to a certain community, so that the people there, it makes sense to them. It can be translated into their own language, and they can engage with it in a way that works with them culturally. And so you can see this really represented across this kind of random distribution of NOx activities that I have here. And so then when we're talking about professional development, or the professionalization of astronomy communication, we're talking about our Communicating Astronomy with the Public programming. And this includes Cap Journal, which is the only free to publish in and free to read peer-reviewed journal on astronomy communication. Excuse me. So this article, this journal, in the document that I'll be giving to Ram to put in the chat, you will be able to go to our website. You can read all of the issues that we've had in the past. And if you're interested in submitting to the CAP Journal, I would 100% suggest that you do. We take a really holistic approach to publishing this journal. So we help with English writing, and academic publishing. So if you're unfamiliar with the process of publishing in a journal, please don't let that discourage you. We would love to work with you to make sure that your work gets out there and people can learn from what you've done. We also have our CAP conference series, which happens every 2 years. Last year was in Toulouse, France, which is where these pictures come from. And it's really a meeting place. for astronomy communicators to come together and to build community, to learn best practices, to learn about new resources and tools, and to do the important networking that needs to be done in order to be really successful in this field, and to bring that information back into your own communities and work with the people that you have locally. So I think personally, CAP conference is very influential for me. In 2018, when I attended my first CAP, it was a transformative moment for me to see that many astronomy communicators present and working and just so enthusiastic about the prospect of learning about how to communicate better. And it was a wonderful experience. So if you have the opportunity, I would suggest attending a CAP conference in the future if you can. And then finally, actually not finally, next we have CAP training, which is a project to create evidence-based training for the IAU community, which will of course include all of you. So this is still kind of in progress. We're working on developing it a bit more to be more relevant to the work that people want to be doing, the training that people need and the certification that they need. But the materials that we have online already are on our YouTube channel, which again are linked in the document that Ram will put on the chat. You can take a look at all of the materials that we've already produced. And if anything you think is interesting to you, please just reach out and I can get you as any materials that you might need. We can make sure that you have it ready for you. And then finally, with CAP, we have our working group, which is a working group on inclusive astronomy communication. And our goal with that is really to promote best practices in inclusivity, diversity, equity, and accessibility, and bring that into astronomy communication, and then build culturally diverse resources in those areas and make them available to astronomy communicators. And we have a group of about 50 people who are interested in doing that right now. And if you're interested in being a part of that, please feel free to email me and let me know. We, of course, have many partnerships within the IAU and outside the IAU. Of course, all of our sister offices and the Center for the Protection of Dark and Quiet Skies from Satellite Constellation Interference. We also work really closely with the international network of networks called AstroExcel, where we're working on a number of different projects, actually, that I haven't mentioned here, but are also very interesting and part of the whole vision for the OAO. But this is, of course, a collaborative effort. So we're always trying to find new partners to work with and build our community in new ways. And one partnership that I really want to mention, of course, because it's near and dear to our heart, is a project that I've been working on with Dominic Virtue at the OAD, which is part of the flagship project, Astronomy for Mental Health. And we've been working on a way to embed some of the aspects of wellness therapies, well-being therapies, into astronomy knowledge and building that into an astronomy activity so that you're blending these two things at the same time. Much in the same way as what I kind of opened with, that astronomy speaks to the humanity within each of us. And speaking to that humanity through astronomy can be beneficial both for the knowledge gain that you might get from learning about astronomy, but also for the kind of personal journey that you go on as you learn about the universe, and you ultimately learn about yourself. And so discover your place in the cosmos. And then I think with that, I will leave it there. Thank you all for your attention. I will, again, hopefully direct your attention to the link to a document that Ram has put in the chat to share with you all. All of my contact information is there. The contact information for the office is there. So if you have any questions about anything that I've talked about, or maybe that you think I missed, please let me know, and I'd love to hear from you. So thank you. Bye.
Cynthia, if you're here, are you able to take any questions?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Okay, good. Anyone have questions about the presentation from the Office for Astronomy Outreach? I believe Joy posted the Google document with all of the links that Kelly mentioned in her talk. Okay, if there's no questions, then we will move to. Is there a question? We will move to the presentation from the Center for the Protection of Dark and Quiet Skies. Connie, are you here? I think Connie said she will join at 15 minutes past, so maybe we can give her a minute or two. I see that people are. Yeah, sorry.
Hi, Ram. Meanwhile, if you're waiting for Connie to join, I just wanted to ask one question, just quickly from the presentation that you shared. So, what are different ways for us to collaborate with IAU, like OAO? One could be like sharing the resources that I can like immediately understand. But what are different other ways that we can as a project of IUAD, we can collaborate with IUOAO?
Sure, of course. The first and the easiest way is to be part of the national outreach coordinators. There's probably already a knock from your country, so we can provide a list of the people who are already part of our organization in your country, and they will provide you a specific way of participating with them. If there is no national outreach coordinator in your country, you can apply to become one so that you can be that representative in your own country. We have a list of over 120 countries that participate with us, with different committees or different projects doing a lot of research in every part of the regions. So that is one way. But also, we are I just put in the chat that we are about to public our new website, and we're very excited about that. And in the new website, we will be having an entire and specific part so that anyone can have a series of resources that they can use either for education, for design, for I don't know, any kind of guide that you might use will be able to, of any other research that we will be developing or we will be doing a research on, will be on our website in order so that anyone can contact or can use it either for research or their own projects. So on that part. And we're also starting a new series of webinars that this year will be mostly all about solar physics. But the idea of doing this webinar so that we start knowing the people that follow our social media and start gathering a new connection and having to know what are the subjects that people are interested in. But at the end of all, you can always write to us. You can always write an email or write directly to our social media. And we can start talking about the different projects that you would like. Either is something that you are already developing or is something that you would like to develop in the future. So different ways so that anyone can join us and start collaborating.
Thanks a lot, Cynthia. I'll definitely write to you and Kelly. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, I don't see Connie here yet, so we can move on to the OAE, the Office of Astronomy for Education. Eduardo, Samantha, I also see Gwen.
Yes, I will try to share my screen. Just a moment. Okay, do you see the presentation now? Yeah, okay, great. Thank you, Ram. Hi, everyone. My name is Samantha Brown, or Sam, from the Office of Astronomy for Education. And along with some of my colleagues here today, we're going to tell you a little bit about our office. And we're very happy to join you and to have heard about your amazing projects. So I'm gonna call some of my colleagues to introduce themselves and then we will get started. So, Tsiamiso, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I am Tsiamiso Makwela. I am part of the OAE, joining the OAE from South Africa. And I am one of the astronomy education researchers for the OAE. And I also work with the TTP. So I'm the coordinator for the teacher training program that is hosted at the OAE. Thank you, Sam.
Sure, thank you. Now I will call Gwen to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Gwen Sanderson. I am originally from Venezuela, South America, but I'm based in the OAE office in Heidelberg. And my role is basically I support the OAE team and get involved in all the projects. So I tend to be the first point of contact for most things, almost everything. Yeah, thank you. And then I'll pass it on to Eduardo.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Ron, for the opportunity to present OAE here. It's a pleasure to meet everyone here in this meeting. And my name is Eduardo Penteado. I'm from and I'm based in Brazil. I am one of the OAE coordinators, and I work with several projects, including the creation of our network of NAECs, which we'll be speaking with more details in this presentation. So I think we can then move to this next slide. So just for you to know, our objectives are the first one is support professionalization of astronomy education. And here we're speaking about astronomy education in the primary and secondary schools. So we do not work with universities, but just with the kids and teenagers in school. And for that, we have some very interesting activities, such as the Shaw IAU workshop, which happens once a year in November, usually. Then we gather together several people working with astronomy education as teachers and researchers. Several people on this field. It's a very nice event, so you are already welcome to join, but we'll be speaking of more details very soon. We also have teacher training. We fund the TTP, the teacher training program that Chamiso just mentioned. We also speaking on more details in this presentation. And we also create several documents that might be useful for those who work with astronomy education. I also want to mention that we want to make sure that educators can find excellent resources. So for that, we have, for instance, glossary of astronomical terms, followed by captions. And we also work with translations of our glossary and all our resources. And we also have Astro-Redo and Big Ideas that we also be showing more details. We also work we want to support inclusion of astronomy in curriculum. So that's why we want to understand how the astronomy is included in the curriculum in several countries. We create and maintain a network of associates that includes our NAECs and centers and nodes. And of course, we want to keep all the stakeholders and everybody else informed through our mailing lists and IAU announcements that we publish, our social media. So yeah, so that's then go with more details. Then we can move to the next slide.
Yes. So just so you know where we're based, and I've realized I forgot to say where I am. But the headquarters of the OAE are the Haus der Astronomie, or the House of Astronomy, in Heidelberg, Germany. And it is this beautiful building that you can see here in the picture. And here are the people who form the main office. So we have our director, Markus Pössl, and our deputy director, Caroline Liebke. Our coordinators, Neil Deacon and Eduardo, who you already met. We have also recently been joined by Simon Kraus, who is in charge of secondary schools, And yeah, as Siamiso mentioned, she is part of the astronomy education research along with myself. We also have, of course, Gwen, who many of you might already know, who helps us in organizing everything around the office, and our associates, Asmita Bandare, Sophie Bartlett, and Said Salimpour. And our office is funded by these three foundations, the Carl Zeiss, the Shaw Prize, and the Klaus Tschira foundations, thanks to whom all the projects that we develop are possible. So speaking of that, we are not alone in this office. Our network goes much wider, and Eduardo is going to tell us a little bit more about the centers.
Yes, thanks, Jen. That's right. We are not alone. Fortunately, we have a very good network of people spread all over the world that help us with our objectives to improve astronomy education worldwide. So, for instance, we have some that we call centers and nodes, OE centers and nodes, that are institutions that work directly with us. They are more or less like our branch of OAE, and they work on their regions, although it's still internationally. We have one node in Nepal, in France, and in Korea, and a center in Italy, in Egypt, another one in India, and another one in China. So the difference between OAO node or OAO center is basically how big they are, how many people are involved. But if you are based in these countries or in these regions, you are free to contact them. So perhaps they can also support you with something that you may need within your projects. And we also have a big network of that we call the NAECs, the National Astronomy Education Coordinators. This is more similar to the NOCs that was mentioned on the OAO presentation. So these are teams work with astronomy education in their countries that support us as well in understanding how astronomy education happens in those countries. And currently we have more than 320 NAECs in 111 countries. So basically, most of countries are already covered, but of course, we still have to fill in some gaps. But if you are in one of these countries, again, you are most welcome to reach out to those NAECs and make sure that they can, and then I can assure you that they will be happy to support you with anything that you may need, especially if you're dealing with schools in your projects. I will also put here the link for this network so that you can check out the details.
And as Eduardo mentioned at the beginning, one of the projects we organize every year is the Show IAU Workshop on Astronomy for Education, which has been ongoing since 2019, if I'm not mistaken, and went fully online due to the pandemic in 2020 and remained this way ever since because it was a huge success. We managed to gather a lot of people interested in astronomy education. And this year's edition will happen from the 18th to the 21st of November. You can register. I believe one of my colleagues will share the link where you can register. And we typically have three main sessions in this workshop, which are astronomy education research, teaching methods and tools, and astronomy education in practice in schools. And for a couple of years now, we've had two special topics, one related to education and one scientific one. And for this year, the special topic will be teaching with authentic astronomical data. And the science one will be everything about galaxies. So yeah, you can register on the link. It is completely free. And for anyone who is interested in astronomy education, either to share your work or just to come and learn. from others. And another one of the projects that we have, thanks to the Shaw Foundation, are the regional Shaw IAU in-person workshops, which started in 2023 with the first edition in South Africa, in Cape Town. And you can see here a beautiful picture from this workshop. And the goal of these regional workshops is to bring together a community that shares either a culture, a language, or that lives in the same region, in order to foster collaborations and connect people that might be able to help each other. So last year we had 2 of them. One was in the Mediterranean region. It took place in Istanbul in Turkey. And the other one was from the Southeast Asia region in Nepal. And this year we already had the first one in Panama, which gathered people from Central America and Mexico. And we will have another 2 coming this year, one in Egypt and another one in Argentina for the South American community. There are also some additional events like a Francophone conference gathering French-speaking countries, and the STEAM-Med meeting from the Mediterranean countries in the Mediterranean region, which has also had a couple of editions by now. Then
Right.
this is another one of our projects. Yes.
Yes, sorry, Sam. No, yes. So this is one of our main projects. This is led by our colleague Chamiso Makwela. I don't know if Chamiso is here, if she wants to speak, or I can address this. So this is one of our main projects that helps to professionalize astronomy. And the idea is to provide resources for our NAECs, create a team in their countries to run teacher training programs. So we have a small funding that our NAECs can apply. So it's necessary that a NAEC is involved in this team. And but then we also require that an astronomer or teachers take part on this project. This is funded by IAU, also the OE Center Italy and OE Center India. And we have seen that this is a project that is very successful. There have been several teacher trainings already happening in many countries across the globe. So this is a really good opportunity for improving the professionalization in astronomy, especially in those countries, those regions where this kind of opportunity is not available or not much, right? So we also have some documents that helps and comes out from as results from these events, like the teacher training transparency standards. Everything is available on our website. And again, if you are working with teachers in schools, so please have a look on these resources that possibly will help you within your activities. Then we can go to the next.
So yeah, as we have mentioned, we have the astronomy education research part along with evaluation. And for evaluation, our associate Sophie Bartlett developed an evaluation toolkit that I think my colleagues will share the link on the chat for to this document. And it is to help our NAECs, but also anyone interested in evaluating their activities or projects, workshops, etc. So maybe this could be useful for your projects in case you want to measure the impact that they have afterwards. And it also helps to improve for the future. So it's a very nice resource. Then moving to education research, there is the Astronomy Around the World in School Curricula from our colleague Said Salimpur that you can also check out. And I believe if you are interested in updating your country's document, or if you don't see it there, maybe you can get in touch with Said. Of course, the centers and nodes are also involved in astronomy education research, and one example is from the OAE Center India, who launched an astronomy baseline survey project that has now been published. And if you're interested, you can also get in touch with us, and we send you the link to it. And Siamiso's most recent research was on probing students' conceptual knowledge in astronomy via a questionnaire, and I believe this will be published very soon. So keep an eye if you are interested in this as well. And we are also looking into internationalizing our research with the help of our NIEX, which is, well, I will be doing very soon, or launching very soon, by internationalizing the astronomy questionnaire with them.
Sorry, Sam and Eduardo, we're just running out of time.
I'm sorry. Okay, so Eduardo, do you want to really quickly go through the resources?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Ran, for noticing, for telling us. Okay, guys, so if you are looking for resources that you can use in your activities, please look on our website, and then you find images, you find documents, texts, glossary, translated to several languages. So it's a very rich set of resources that might be useful for you. Due to the time, I would just post the link here, and then you can check. But of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us, and then we can discuss more details about the resources available.
Yeah, and I just want to also quickly say that if anyone is interested in translating any of these resources, you can get in touch with us, and we would be very happy about that.
Do you take any questions from us? Because I have a question related to TTP. Let's say, the teacher training program. For example, we trained the teacher. Does IAU or any of their office will have kind of certificates of competency for those teachers? Do you provide this?
Yeah, if I can go ahead and reply to that. So, because of how different regulations are in different countries, we normally do a certificate for the hosts. So, for example, the NIAC and that organizing team is the people that will give the certificate to say this is recognized. But going forward with the astronomy teacher trainings that we are building on transparency standards, we hope that we'll be able to have certificates that could be regulated, but also be recognized by different ministries for the teachers who attend these teacher trainings. So that's what we are working towards. But currently, we are not able to necessarily give the teachers each a certificate from the OAE, but we can give certificates to the organizers to say this is recognized by the IAU.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we work to help the Ministry of Education in Malaysia, and I am the one of the team to develop the curriculum. So let's say I'm applying for this grant, small grant TTP, and then work with the ministry. So yes, we can give the certificate together with IAU for the competency of the teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Sorry, we have to move on since we are a bit running behind. Thank you so much, Sam, Eduardo, Gwen, and Shemiso on OAE. So I do see Itziar here from the OYA. Itziar, are you able to say something? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to share my screen. I think you all are seeing, but note in, let me see here. Now you will see it in full screen, right? So hello, everybody. I'm Itziar Arechaga. I'm the director of the International Schools for Young Astronomers. This is the main program of the Office for Young Astronomers. And just as an illustration of what we do, you have here in the picture the latest school that we organized in Algeria in September 2024. So what we are about is give service to young astronomers in training to acquire a master's or a PhD. So we are devoted to give best opportunities to students around the world, especially those that are in isolated positions, whether it is because they come from developing countries or because they are isolated in any other way. Give best chances so that they can complete their studies and give them perspectives of what avenues they can take for the future. So we have a web page. I will just post it afterwards again in the chat. This is linked directly to the IAU webpage. This will change soon because the IAU pages are migrating. And we organize once or twice per year a school around the world that basically makes a call for students to send their application. We make a selection. And these students are fully funded to go to the school for 3 weeks in an intensive manner and be surrounded by a team of lecturers, which are real experts on the topics that they are going to be studying in this school. I mean, it's a very broad in scope. We don't specialize on any topic in particular, although we have had schools that have certain flavor. So you have just to the right some pictures of the selected students in 3 different schools. As I mentioned, this is an activity that has been organized by the International Astronomical Union since 1967. Therefore, it has a long tradition. We have a lot of data on how the students have progressed through time. Is intensive, is focused on students who are starting their graduate studies. And the goal is to broaden the participants' perspective on astronomy. Often we find that students that come from countries that do not have a very rich tradition on astronomy research in particular don't see all the opportunities that they can access in order to progress on their careers. So even if they don't access those resources, at least they know that they are there and that potentially they could use them in the future. The lectures, as I mean, the students are regional. Wherever we organize a school, we select the students regionally. And the lecturers are researchers that are well known in their fields of expertise. So this is just one historical picture of one of the first schools. Many of the people here are already retired. I mean, they actually did do work on several institutions, whether research, education, outreach, but time has gone by and they are now retired. So new generations of students have joined our network, which is basically a network of alumni and of lecturers of these schools. So what are the benefits for the students? They have contact directly with international lecturers. Sometimes co-supervisions develop. The students sometimes are recruited into the school the lecturers usually serve to. We give them a broad basis of topics at a level which is comparable, or we attempt to be comparable to schools which are world-class schools. They have access to quality notes. They give them access to books which are free to distribute or select material that they can use for further study. They can practice with basic bibliographical and virtual observatory tools. We often provide some observational experience. Here is just the access to telescopes in China, for instance. We have introduced workshops on career development, specifically at issuing aspects that all students around the world have to face, how to progress in one's career, what challenges we have, both external and internal. We have a program of mentoring for students that so wish to be in contact with us and that we can orient them in their careers in the future. And the most fundamental thing is that they develop their own network of students that they will grow into as professionals, into a base and that they can resource to. So the office is actually just two people, David Mota and myself. We team up with local directors, local people in order to organize the schools, and we have a supervising steering committee, which represents the Office for Young Astronomers. So we are the main activity of the Office for Young Astronomers. As members of the network of the OAD, I can tell you that we hope that you will receive announcements of our schools and that you will be able to distribute this to interested students who wish to do master's, PhDs, or are already doing master's and PhDs in your countries, or that are original from your countries, because what we want is to develop the network, the regional network. And sometimes the students come from other countries they have gone to develop their theses, but they belong to that community and they need to be in contact with those that have come from similar conditions from those that they have grown in. So this is just a map of where the schools have happened in all these years, 58 years. You can see in blue places where schools have happened more than once, in white those that where students have, where schools have happened only once. And we like to show this, this graph, which shows the number of IAU members. IAU members usually are PhD holders. They usually have permanent positions in the countries where they actually work. We have a junior section, which actually are already PhDs, but are in postdoc positions. But this already gives you an idea that there are many countries where there are very few members of the IAU. So this is basically like a metric that it tells us whether in that country they have sufficient base of professional researchers that can provide the type of education that we wish it was viable for the whole world. So those are our target countries. In some of the countries, actually, the number of members is larger than 100, but the number of members per 10 million people in the country is very low. So we still feel that those are countries that can develop further their professional astronomy community. While, I mean, this is the map of where the schools have happened. Before I mentioned that the students are selected regionally, so not just in the country where the school is happening. So this is just the map of where the students in all the years since 1967 have come from. So while we don't have a full coverage of the world, we attempt to basically just spread our opportunities to those countries, especially where the professional astronomy base is the smallest. And what we have measured through the years is that the students that have come to our schools, the country of origin is marked here in red, they have gone and traveled around the world in order to progress on their careers, and the target countries where they have gone to is shown here in blue, and trajectories are just the trajectories of mobility of alumni from our schools. So we find that 57% of the alumni do their master's, PhD, or postdocs work in other countries, but 70% actually currently work in their country of origin. So often people go elsewhere to basically do their PhDs, but return home, which is one of our targets is to develop astronomy, professional astronomy around the world. So what is in the future? 2025, we already have our program approved. We will have a school in July in Urcuqui, Ecuador, drawing from the whole Latin American, Caribbean base of students. And at the end of the year, we will be in Taipei. Still, this has to be announced, but it is already approved. And we will be drawing students from the Asian base. In 2026, we have a very advanced proposal from Africa. So it will be in the southern cone of Africa, most likely. And in 2027, we are lobbying to have a school in America or Asia. So if you are in institutions that are interested in bringing one of these schools to your country, please get in contact with us. Check our webpage. This is our email addresses where I can be contacted personally in this one. And this is the general ISIA address. And we will be very, very happy to work with the local teams in order to give this opportunity to local students in your region. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Itziar. Any questions on the ISIA schools? Like I said before, our network is one of our biggest strengths. So please do make use of it. As you heard from all the other offices, each of them have their own global network, potentially hundreds and thousands of people who can help you. So either you can let me know if you want to connect with any of these people, or you can get in touch with them directly. If there are no questions, then we'll move on to the final two presentations from our partners. So we'll have one presentation from the African Astronomical Society and one from the DARA project, the development in Africa through radio astronomy. Melvin and Nombali, we are running late by about 10 minutes. So I don't know if either of you needs to leave exactly on the hour. If either of you wants to go first. Yeah.
I'm easy either way.
Nambali, are you fine as well? Do you want to go
Yeah.
first?
Yep, I can go first.
Okay, please, thank you.
Can you all see my screen? Hello everyone. I'm Nombali Rodi. I'm representing the African Astronomical Society. I work as a research development and membership officer. So I'm going to talk about the African Astronomical Society and its activities. So the African Astronomical Society, it's a Pan-African professional society of astronomers registered in South Africa as a non-profit organization and voluntary society. It is governed by the Constitution, and its vision is create a global, competitive, and collaboration astronomy community in Africa, and to be the voice of astronomy in Africa, and to contribute in addressing the challenges faced by the Africa through the promotion and advancement of astronomy. So we are hosted in South Africa through the Department of Science and Technology and Innovation, and we are based in Cape Town at the South African Astronomical Observatory. Our objectives are on the sustainability development goals. We encourage the use of astronomy for social economy development, and these are our objectives that increasing the number of astronomers as well as the number of astronomers in working in Africa, and these are some of the goals objectives. So when the African Astronomical Society was launched, the community, these were the expectations that the community they expected, such as inclusivities and capacity building and networking and collaboration sessions and others. The African Astronomical Society, it is driven by its structure and the partners. So we have different committees in our organization. We have the Outreach and Education Committee, the African Network for Women in Astronomy, the Membership Committee, and the Fundraising and the Communication Committee, and the Science Committee. So these are our umbrellas partners, the African Planetarium Associate, and the RAP Science, and the African Science, and also some of our partners here. And we have the AFAS Science Committee, which is supports the astronomical research in general, including facilities access and the use of existing facilities, and in particular, the publishing of articles promote research in astronomy and research. So these are the activities that they're currently running, such as the Astro Hubs and the African Radio Astronomy Network. And this is some of the grants that they give out to students to further their education, which is run by our subcommittee, the early career subcommittee. And they also have educational programs, the research group supports, such as PASIA and others. And then we also have the AFAS Outreach and Education Committee, which is responsible for the strengthen the association network of astronomy outreach practitioner across Africa and establishing additional collaboration as needed. And these are the activities that they are running, such as solar eclipse classes, and they are currently busy distributing them across Africa and here in South Africa. And we also have a hackathon that is coming, which will be held in Johannesburg. Yes. And we also have the African Network of Women in Astronomy, which connects women working in astronomy and related fields in Africa. And they also launched their first additional AFNOA book, which inspiring stories of women in astronomy. And they also have AFNOA SIDS grants and senior award, earlier career AFNOA awards. And they are currently working on publishing another book. And we also have the AFAS membership committee, and we have different categories: the full membership, the associate membership, and the student membership, and we plan to implement the others. And now we are currently sitting on 400 individual membership, and we also call for membership applications, and it's currently free. And we also have the communication committee, which aims to help all the committees communicate clearly and reach their goals. And it also ensures the invisibility of AFAS by raising awareness around the society presence in astronomy related activities. And we recently published the newsletter, which you can find it on our website. And they also have the collaboration sessions that they hold in events. And we recently had this one, the AFAS Science Forum collaborate. And we were working with the OAD, so the Astronomy for the Sustainability Development Charter, the Future of Astronomy. And we are having a conference in March, around the 23 and the 28th of March. So we invited submission of talks and posters in the following categories: categories, and we have received about 500 applications, and you can go visit our website if you want more about the conference. Thank you. That's me, the African answer.
Thanks, Namali. Any questions? So if you are in Africa or if you like to work with the astronomy community in Africa, you must consider getting in touch with AFAS, the African Astronomical Society. If there are no questions, then we move to Melvin, who runs the DARA project.
Hi, everybody. Just share my screen. People see my screen okay?
Yeah, but we see the presentation mode.
Oh, do you? Oh.
Yeah, we don't see the full screen.
Yeah, okay. That might be a problem.
Sometimes it shows the presentation mode. If you've got a second display connected, then it mixes up which one is supposed to get the presentation.
Yeah, I've got a laptop and
Okay. So if you go back into presentation, I think you can swap displays.
into the presentation mode.
Yeah. And then right at the top of the screen, you'll see a swap display. And show tips and swap displays.
I don't see anything at the top.
Oh.
It's all right. I'll just disconnect the other display. And,
Yeah, this is fine. Yeah.
you can still hear me.
Yeah.
Is that okay now?
Yeah, perfect.
All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So yeah, let me tell you about the development in Africa with radio astronomy project. So we're one of the partners with OAD, or OAD is a partner on the DARA project. So overall, DARA is a sort of UK-South Africa joint project, and it's funded by the UK's International Science Partnership Fund, at least in its current form. And we exist to really develop skills related to radio astronomy in developing countries in Africa. And we have a team of 9 UK universities, led from the University of Leeds, here where I am. We've got 7 South African institutions, and also importantly 4 industry partners from the space sector. So I'll tell you about the various types of activities that DARA does. And perhaps before I get going with that, before I forget, I should also mention that our partnership with OAD, at least in this form, comes from we also support the funding of some of the annual development projects that OAD put out, and so it's good to see Gabriel and Onks were on the call. At least Onks was on there earlier, and we're funding those 2 projects this time around. But we do an awful lot of other things as well. So the core of what we do is really a basic training program. So we deliver basic training in the skills associated with radio astronomy to around about 60 people a year from across the African SKA partner countries. So you can see those in pink on the right there, and also now students from South Africa, from the historically disadvantaged institutions there too. So we're taking physics graduates and giving them about 8 weeks of training spread out over a period of about 6 months. So this can involve optical astronomy training. So this is some of our recent training efforts. In fact, Gabriel might be in this picture, I think. So this was at Ilaret in Kenya, where the University of Edinburgh, one of our partners, has installed this 40-centimeter telescope, and that forms the basis of the training there. We also take our students for a couple of weeks either to Hartrau in South Africa or to the new sort of Ghana Radio Observatory, the 32-meter dish in Accra in Ghana to undergo hands-on training in radio astronomy there with the big dishes. Some of the main transferable skills that people get is through learning computing skills, so Linux, Python, and data reduction techniques using CASA, etc. And that gets delivered in the home countries. And again, DARA has provided clusters of 10 PCs in each of the African partner countries for that purpose. And then towards the end of the training program, we bring everyone together, all the partners, all the academics, industry partners, development partners together in an annual network meeting, which in fact, so in our new incarnation, this is going to be happening next week near Johannesburg. And so we expect over 100 people to be attending that meeting. And that is where people get showcased opportunities for how to go forward, whether they want to do master's, PhD, etc. on the academic route, whether they want to explore ideas in industry, especially in the space sector, space agencies, commercial businesses, and also in development. And that is where Ram and colleagues will be encouraging our latest round of cohorts to try and submit bids to the OAD call for proposals. So that's the basic training in radio astronomy. We're also doing training in sort of big data areas. And so for that, we're helping to fund a series of hackathons in collaboration with AFAS OAD and collaborators. And so there's programs that are undergoing there. And in fact, Onks seems to be running that one as well. So you're a busy man, Onks. So there's going to be 9 of these occurring this year, and we expect another 2 years of subsequent rounds of those as well. The organizers of those hackathons get invited to South Africa to come and sort of, in a train the trainers event. So that happened back in October time. And then as well as that hackathon, we're also running a Big Data Africa School. So that's coming up very shortly in the 10th of March. So that's a workshop with 50 participants taking place in Cape Town, and there'll be another one taking place in 2026. And again, just to give you a feel for some of the themes, so this is where the sort of overlaps, synergies between using AI and machine learning in astronomy overlapping with other fields, especially remote sensing. So that will be a big theme of this particular workshop. So looking at remote sensings for various applications in disaster mitigation and climate change, agriculture, etc. So a new feature of the current round of DARA funding is that we are funding, trying to really kickstart research groups around the theme of radio astronomy, but not just radio astronomy, across the different African partners countries. And so we are funding postdocs directly in African universities. You can see the list of institutions here. And as I mentioned, it's not just in radio astronomy. We have projects in space science and also, again, in applications of remote sensing, especially where machine learning is involved. And trying to really start to also then build up a network of people across the continent. Again, this will happen at the network meetings as well. So bringing together radio astronomers, remote sensing, space physicists, people who can really use those same skill sets to apply to lots of different fields. We're funding sabbaticals as well, or research leave awards for some of the people who are already in permanent jobs but are need release from teaching so that they can keep their, so, again, these are young people trying to keep their research field going. And this is really trying to prepare, all of the partner countries for the coming of the Square Kilometre Array radio telescope, which will be coming online in a few years' time. We're now also supporting master's training in African universities for the first time. So we've funded about 18 places now. So these are 2-year masters. And again, you can see the distribution across here. And so we're hitting most of the countries and also getting a good gender equality on those. Similarly, we've funding 1-year masters by research places at the UK team universities. So we've awarded 8 of those, sort of 1 for each of the partner countries. And we'll have a second round of those starting next year. And we're also providing some support to about 8 PhD students, again, across African universities. As well as the people, well, again, this is still people. So we work closely, obviously, with Soreo, who are facilitating the installation of various infrastructure to help the development of radio astronomy in the African partner countries. So one of the latest ways of doing this has been to install these transient array radio telescopes, these funny looking, look a bit like spiral galaxies. They're actually a network of 24 GPS receivers that just look up, and you can use them as an interferometric array. They don't detect astronomical sources, just the satellites above you. But again, very good hands-on way of learning about the techniques in radio astronomy. And we've been funding the people to go and do the installations, like you can see here on the roof of Technical University in Kenya. And this is the one next to the beach in Mauritius. So a wide range of activities, supporting this basic training for hundreds of young people, supporting postgrad students, starting to develop this network of actual full-on researchers across all the different partner countries. And all the while, across all levels, we are trying to bring to the fore the synergies between radio astronomy, the rest of multi-wavelength astronomy, space sector, and these machine learning AI techniques, and really how all of those can be put together to address development challenges, which of course is a key part of what the OAD Call for Proposals program is trying to do. Okay, so I'll stop there and stop sharing. And if anyone has any questions, then please ask.
Thank you, Melvin. Any questions? So there is at least one radio astronomy for development project this year. I don't know if Eleni is still here.
I'm here. I'm here.
So Eleni and her team are running a radio astronomy for development project in Greece, China, and Pakistan, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the purpose to bring radio astronomy in schools here in Greece, Pakistan, and China, because it's a topic that is new. Even for Greece, it's new. We don't have a radio telescope yet. There are efforts. So we're trying to bring it to the schools with the hope to develop the skills of students and bring them closer in general to research and excite their imagination.
Yeah. So you're working with Nectaria on the dish conversion in Greece?
I'm not working exactly on that. I would be more interested in bringing a LOFAR radio station in Greece because I study galaxies with LOFAR and other radio telescopes and with ASCAP and MIRCAT. But yes, we're one of the radio astronomers of Greece, let's say, in the group. Yes.
Great.
Right. If there are no other questions, so that's the end of the day. Sorry again, we ran a bit late today. So hopefully I'll see all of you tomorrow, same time. Tomorrow we'll have a bit of a discussion. So we'll split into various groups. I'll explain more about that at the beginning of the session tomorrow. And then in the second half, I'll talk about reporting evaluations. If there are no other questions, then that's it for the day. You can stop recording and